Hello friends, this is Ganesh. Please watch my previous videos. Link has been provided in the description. In this video, we are going to see Hive partitions. First, we will see what, why, and how about the Hive partitions. Partitions are horizontal slice of large set of data. It means the data getting stored or converted into chunks of data. Partitions are being done to increase the query performance. In some cases, simple query will take long time. It is due to it is because it will require the scan of entire data set. This large amount of time could be reduced by partitioning the table in Hive. Partitioning in Hive is done using partition by class in the create table statement. Each table could have one or more partition keys which determine how the data is stored. The column which partitioning is done could not be included in the data of the table. It will be used only in the partitioned by class. And then it is the user's job to guarantee the relationship between partition name and the data content. Partition columns are virtual columns. They are not part of data itself because they are derived on loading data. Few items in this list could be understood during the execution of partition table only. We will see how we are going to do partition in Hive. There are two ways to create partitions in Hive. One is static partition and another one is dynamic partition. While a table is created as static partition, we need to specify the value for the partition. When it is dynamic partition, we do not need to specify the value for partition. It will be taken from the partition columns itself. We just specify the name of the partition column in the partition class. The partitions are created based on the unique values of that partition column. To insert the data, the dynamic partition must be specified in the last among the columns in the select statement and in the same order which they appear in the partition class. You will see this meaning while we create dynamic partition. Dynamic partitions are disabled by default. We need to do the below configurations to enable dynamic partitioning. First, we are creating a table store info, and then we are loading sample data from local location. Then we are creating the external table sales partition underscore dynamic, in which we are going to insert data using dynamic partitioning. Here we could see we have used the keyword partition by, and we have mentioned the name of partition column. We are storing the data as ORC. ORC is a format which is being used in this table. Then we execute these two commands to enable dynamic partitioning. Then we are using the insert into table statement with partition keyword along with the column name. We are inserting data from store info table into the dynamic table using insert into table command. In my system I have 8 GB RAM, so I have configured map, reduce and resource memory as mentioned here. The setting should be in the following way. Means map reduce dot map dot memory should be less than the node manager resource memory, and node manager resource memory should be less than scheduler maximum allocation memory. Once we execute insert into table statement, we could find the job got started, and it has all the information during the process. It shows mapper percentage, reducer percentage, and it has the job ID which could be used to validate the job process in resource manager web UI. Finally, it shows the time taken to load dynamic partition and the overall time taken to insert the data into the partition table. Once the insertion got completed in the dynamic table location, we could see the data are chunked based on the state. we have these states available in our data, so we could find all the states inside the folder of dynamic table HDFS location. When we go into the first partition, we could find the part file for the respective state. The part file would contain the data. So when we do query with specific criteria on state for California, it would retrieve it will access and retrieve only from California. This is the resource manager web UI. We could find the application executed and got succeeded. It shows the total memory, apps completed, and the application type for the respective app. While processing, we could drill down the application ID and find number of cores allocated, number of running containers allocated, memory, and percentage of queue being used, and percentage of cluster being used by the application. That's all for the video. Please subscribe the channel and share the channel. Thank you. Have a good day.